Welcome. This is Getting Ready for Work, Part 10, How Dollars Make Sense. This is the Getting Ready to Work series, brought to you by the Arkansas Rehabilitation Services, your Region 4 pre-ed counselors. We're preparing a job-ready, career-bound workforce to meet the needs of Arkansas employers. And of course, this is another PowerPoint. Our objectives of this lesson will be review, evaluate, and develop a checking account and debit card awareness and knowledge. Determine the difference between gross and net pay. Review budgeting concepts and principles. Apply the knowledge of creating and maintaining a budget. And review, evaluate, and develop knowledge of credit card basics. And finally, determine the cost of long-term and short-term effects of mismanaged credits. And below are your Arkansas CTE frameworks for teachers that want to include this in their lesson plans. How dollars make sense, an introduction to money management. And we're all about making money here. Here is a short introduction on better steps to make better money management decisions.
That to be good with money, you need a lot. Not true. What you need to be good with money is everyday management. Whether you're planning for yourself or for your whole family, there are 3 basic steps you can take to make the most of your money. 1. Create a budget. 2. Set savings goals. And 3. Tackle your debts. When put into practice, these steps can have a big impact, not only on your monthly budget, but on your overall financial future. One of the first steps to better money management is to create a budget and stick to it. This might sound simple, but you'd be surprised how few people actually do it. You can think of your budget as your guide to reaching your financial and personal goals. If you have trouble covering all your expenses each month, a budget can help you avoid overspending. That's because your budget can help you see and understand exactly where your money is going and whether or not your spending is in line with your personal goals. The next step is to set savings goals. With your budget in place, building your savings will be that much easier because you'll know how much extra money you have each month to allot to your goals. One of the best savings goals to start with is an emergency fund. Building up an emergency fund to help cover unexpected expenses like a sudden medical bill, major home or car repair, or even a job can help you avoid going into debt when life throws you a curveball, which will. Instead of borrowing money to cover these emergencies, you'll already have the money saved up, and this could end up saving you a lot more money in the long run. Start by building up 3 months' worth of expenses as a goal. Once you've established an emergency fund and are living within your budget, you can then figure out some long-term savings goals. Whether you decide to plan for your retirement, or save for a home improvement, college, or even a well-deserved vacation, you'll be better able to set aside some money and have a timeline for reaching your goals. The third step is to tackle any debts you have. First, as you're working to pay them down, you'll probably want to stop adding to the debts you already have. The less debt you have, the easier it'll be to get out from under it. It could also be helpful to know what your debt is costing you each month. Once you know how much your debt costs, you can create a plan that helps you reduce it and eventually pay it off. The sooner you get started, the more money you can save. It's worth noting that managing your debt and your savings go hand in hand. For instance, if you have a debt with a very high interest rate, it may make sense to focus on paying it down at the same time, or even before you build your entire emergency fund. As you make a plan to tackle your debt, setting target goals can help you stay on track as you actually see and feel the progress you're making. These 3 steps are the basic components of money management, and it's easy to see how they can work together. By keeping a budget, you'll know have available to accomplish your savings goals and tackle your debts. Having an emergency fund for adding any new debt, and occasionally checking in, reviewing your budget from time to time can help you set long-term savings goals, like payment on a home, as your priorities and circumstances change. Now that you have an understanding of the basics, why not take the next step? Being smarter with your money, learning new tips and techniques can help you today and down the road.
Okay. In a 2018 article in Forbes magazine, it was determined that 44% of Americans don't have enough cash to cover a $400 emergency. 43% of student loan borrowers are not making their payments. 38% of U.S. households have a credit card debt. On average, they owe $16,048 with an APR of 16.47%. That means they're going to be owing more. 33% of American adults have zero, nada, saved for retirement. And 23% have less than $10,000 saved for retirement. 56% have less than $10,000 saved for retirement. How much will you need for your retirement when you get that age? Well, you're going to need $1 million, and millennials are going to need $1.8 million just to retire. That's not too far down the road. Now don't panic. Personality traits of good money management. Well, we'll talk about 4 of them. Self-control, planning and organizing, commitment, and patience. Self-control. Controlling the impulse to purchase things you don't really need or that you really can't afford. Have your self-control where you do not just spend money. Planning and organizing. Developing money-related goals. Keeping a budget, tracking your spending, and developing a system to monitor your progress. That's planning and organizing. Commitment. Sticking with your plan to become financially healthy, not giving up. Patience is realizing this is a process that will take time and recognizing that you are investing in your future. Financial security does not happen overnight, unless, of course, you win the lottery. But I don't see that happening. More money management basics. You need to create a budget. Evaluate what you want versus what you need. Create a spending plan based on those wants and needs. Create a savings plan. Make sure you have something saved after you have your money, your budget. Establish money goals. What do you want your money to do for you? You've worked hard for it, but what do you want it to do for you? And understand what debt is and what credit is. Understand the difference. We will be talking about that. A budget is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. That's from Dave Ramsey. Think about it. Create a budget, a plan to spend your money. You have income, that's the money you make, versus your expenses, the money you spend. Some money you have to spend, some money you just spend because you want to spend it. But you got to have a plan. Here is a quote from J. Paul Getty, founder of Getty Oil Company. If you can count your money, you don't have $1 billion. Isn't that true? Income equals money that you receive. Income is money that you get or earn, or sometimes you earn it, sometimes it just comes to you. And income can come in many facets. Salary and wages, gross wages, net wages, the money you get from working. A pension, maybe you're retired and you're getting a pension. That's income for you. Social Security, some people are getting a Social Security check. That is income. And social services. Sometimes people are getting money through social services, and that is their income. Sometimes you're getting money for alimony or child support for children you're having to raise from a divorced spouse or separated spouse. Maybe not a spouse at all. Freelance work, something you do, self-employment, something you do on the side. Maybe you have a garage sale, or you're selling in a thrift store. Something you make on the side. But you got to remember, your gross wages are stuff your income before taxes. What your actual income is your net wages, and that's after taxes are taken out. Expenses, money you owe. This is stuff you owe. This amount may be deducted each month, quarter, bi-yearly, or yearly. But it's bills. Basically, it's bills you have to pay. It includes rent, mortgage, loan payments, alimony, child support. You may be paying the alimony and child support. Child care, daycare for your children, insurance premiums, medical premiums, retirement plan deductions, dues. You might have club memberships, credit card payments, tuition, utilities, phone, taxes. All this is stuff you have to pay. Worrying is like paying a debt you don't owe, from Mark Twain. Other expenses. These are flexible expenses. You don't spend them the same every time, but they change over time. Sometimes you pay more, sometimes you pay less, sometimes you don't pay these, but they come up. You might have to buy household items, clothing, personal care for your hair and nails, veterinarian bills, vehicle maintenance comes up on you every now and then, home repairs, food, groceries, charitable donations, children activities, entertainment, restaurants, movies. You might have a new girlfriend you want to impress them. You'll have that. That will be an uptick on the expenses. Gifts. There may be others out there. Needs versus wants. A need are expenses that are essential for you to be able to live and work. You have to have these things. These are needs. They can include housing, transportation, car driving, insurance, utilities. You need gas and electricity. Stay warm and cool. Food. You will need food. And that will be an expense that you are essential, that you need. Now, wants are expenses that help you live more comfortably. You can live without them, but you enjoy your life more when you have them. And they can include eating out, cable TV, a manicure or pedicure, designer clothes, or even a pet. You don't need them, but you enjoy your life with them. These are wants. Something you don't need, but you want. And like this is a need versus a want. This lady probably needs a SUV, but she's looking at that Aston Martin in the corner. Aston Martin is a want. but the SUV is something she probably needs. Your household budget, the total monthly income. It is your total versus your total monthly expenses. So what you make in a month versus your expenses in a month is your disposable income. That is what is left over. And we have an online budgeting tool to calculate how much you have in disposable income. And it's www.calculator.net/budget-calculator.html. Please go to that. The only exercise I've done this month is running out of money. Money management essentials. Track all your spending. Determine the amount of money spent on these expenses. Evaluate how much is spent on needs versus wants. How can you increase disposable income? You need to create a spending plan, and you also need to create a savings plan. Focus on the things you can change and let go of the things you can't. Wants are things that you can change. If your monthly disposable income is negative or low, you need a spending plan. First, look at ways to cut or reduce your wants and flexible expenses. Second, look for ways to cut fixed expenses. The amount is due every month. How can you change those fixed expenses that you pay every month? Example of reducing expenses. Here we have an expense. Eat at a restaurant. It will cost you an average of $15 to $20 a week eating in a restaurant. But you can cut and reduce it by staying at home. You could save $60, $80 a month. Now you got the expense of cable TV, internet, and that average is really high, $150 a month. Now you can cut and reduce that, but find cheaper plans. You can shop for cheaper plans out there for internet and cable TV, and you might be able to save $50 to $100 a month. Okay, a manicure, pedicure, that averages $50 a session, $50 a sit down. That's what it's going to cost you. But if you do your own, you'll save $50. And how about those designer jeans? They cost maybe $75. Well, you can get the same ones really at a thrift or discount store, and you could save $50 on those jeans. They just cost $25 instead of $75. Now, car insurance is something you have to pay if you need transportation. That average $75 to $125 a month. That's a big expense. But if you shop around, you might be able to reduce it to $25 to $50 a month. And for a year, that may be a good chunk of money you can save. Now, your cell phone bill, and that's something you need too, averages $100 a month. But you can shop around to other companies and change companies. You might be able to save $25 a month. Then there's Netflix. You know, a lot of people watch Netflix. It averages $10, $16 a month just for Netflix. But you can stop it and save $10 and $15, $16 a month just by not having Netflix. Ta-da! Your savings plan. How much do you currently have in savings? How much do you need? Most people need $1,000 in their savings account for a rainy day fund. Now, what are you going to need in the future? And here's savings goals. You got an emergency fund goal. Like I said, basic emergency fund goal is $1,000. That optimal is 3 months of expenses, Monthly fixed expenses, your bills, your electric, gas, whatever you have to pay, $2,000. Savings, you probably need about $6,000. That's for, $2,000 a month. You need $6,000 for 3 months for fixed expenses. The short-term savings goal. An example is car down payment for a home, new furniture, vacation, etc. These are short-term settings. You don't have to pay them all the time, but it will be. You need to save for them. Now, long-term goals include retirement. And this could be an IRA or 401k, or even a small contribution will add up over time. Something. And how can you accomplish this? Well, I'll show you. Try something while your salary is small, because it's impossible to save if you begin to earn more. That's from Jack Benny. How to save money. You need to make a commitment to save part of your income on a regular basis. Save something in your income. Make sure you save something. Don't spend it all. You pay yourself first. Your income versus your savings versus the expenses. And that will equal your disposable income. That's what you can spend your money with. But you got to take out your income, savings, and expenses first. Cut costs and expenses and earmark the money to savings. When you cut expenses, earmark them to savings. You'll never go wrong with savings. Create a timeline to increase your savings. Example, I plan to save $1,000 by December 2021. Saving suggestions. Save loose change. Cash it and bank it. All returnable bottle money goes into your savings. These are just suggestions. Use 24-hour use for purchases. That means if you want something, wait 24 hours before you buy it. You might not, it might just be more of a need or more of a want than a need. And if you want it bad enough, maybe you still want it in 24 hours, buy it. But you might not feel that way after 24 hours. Turn bad habits into savings. Good way to stop smoking. What else do you spend money for that's doesn't help you any? Pay yourself first, i.e. direct deposit. And you may want to have a no-spend month where you don't spend anything on your wants for 1 month a year. That could save you a lot of money. Saving in stages. If you pay peanuts, you get monkeys. Now I'll show you how to save in stages. Okay, here's 2 plans. You got a 52-week money challenge. That is where you start off with $1 out of your paycheck and you save it. And then the next week it's $2. And the week after that, it's $4. And you keep on going. By the 57 weeks, you save like that, you're going to end up saving $1,378 in just 1 year. There you have your $1,000 rainy day fund. Or you some people get paid by paychecks, bi-weekly. What you do is from week 1 to 13, you put in $10. Then next week, $20. Week after that, $30. And keep on going to week 13, you put in $60. And you have $120. Then you start from week 14 to 26. You start with $50. Give $50. Then $40. And you see it on and on and on and on. And you end up after week 26 with $1,000. Just a little bit per paycheck will save you a lot of time. Automatic savings. If you don't touch it, you might not spend it. Automatic payroll deduction. Every pay period, your employer deducts a certain amount from your paycheck and transfers it to a retirement or savings account. Ask your human resources representative for more details and try to set this up for yourself. Automatic bank transfer. Every month, your bank or credit union transfers a fixed amount of money to your checking account from your checking account to a savings account or investment account. You can talk to your local bank and credit union and set this up. You won't even miss your money because they take it out every paycheck. Debt and credit. Money you borrow. How much is too much debt? Debt elimination, cost of credit, credit scores, and why they matter. There's different types of debt. Types of debt include mortgage. If you buy a house, and there's nothing wrong with buying a house, you are in debt for buying that house. You'll have a mortgage. Auto loan. If you buy a car, you make payments. You're in debt. And that's not a bad thing, but you are in debt. A student loan will put you in debt. If you have a student loan, you will be in debt. Credit cards. If you buy anything on credit cards, you're automatically in debt with that credit card. And the best thing to do is pay it off as soon as you can. Debt costs money. Lenders will require money be paid back, they'll include a fee called interest. The interest rate is the cost of this credit. So there's a percentage that you're going to have to pay back in addition to what you borrowed. Nothing comes free. And you'll be living on a load of debt. Signs that you have too much debt. All your money is going toward your debt and expenses. You can only afford minimum payments on things. You are stressed out about money. You have been denied new credit. You have nothing or very little in savings. You pay your bills late. That's a sign of too much debt. You borrow money to pay your debt. The cost of credit. We're going to talk about a little thing called the annual percentage rate, APR. The interest rate this is the interest rate charged for you borrowing money. Example, a credit card has a 19% annual percentage rate. Means if you're $1,000 in debt, you're going to have to pay that $10,000 and 19% of that $1,000. I said 10,000, I meant 1,000. Fee is 19.19 over 12 or 1.58% each month added to the outstanding balance. $1,000 outstanding balance times 0.158 will mean that you pay $15.80 per $1,000 for that month. If you have $2,000, you're going to be paying $31.60 per month. And what is $31.60 times 12? Get out your calculators, find out. The annual percentage rate, the cost of your credit as a yearly rate, is skyrocketing. Debt elimination plan. Options. You can create more income, put extra income specifically toward debt, where you can cut and reduce all unnecessary expenses that you have. Put extra money specifically toward debt. Approved credit counseling. You can go to help for approved credit counseling agencies. The one in Arkansas is Credit Counseling of Arkansas, and here we have the addresses to the Fort Smith office and the Fayetteville office. You can also go and see the credit. Above is right here where I point is you can go to U.S. government and find approved credit counseling agencies in your area, especially in Arkansas. I suggest you go there if you are in debt. Credit scores, why do they matter? Your FICO credit score is the number based on the information from your credit reports and at the three major credit reporting bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Scores shall show how potential lenders and creditors a borrower's likelihood of repaying the debt. Okay, these scores tell about how likely you are to paying your debt. If you're less likely, you're going to be paying more. If you are more likely, you will be paying less. As simple as that. And there's our big four credit card companies: Visa, MasterCard, Discover, American Express. What factors go in your FICO score? Your payment history, the amount you owe, how long your credit accounts have been open, your credit history, new credit and mix of credit types. These scores range from 300 to 850. The higher your score, the better. Credit scores are typically grouped into ranges like excellent, good, fair, and poor. And here are from Experian FICO credit scores. Exceptional. If you have an exceptional score, that's 800 to 850. 20% of Americans have exceptional credit score. Very good credit score is 740 to 799. 25% of Americans have a very good credit score. A good credit score is 670 to 739. That's 21% of all Americans. A fair credit score is 580 to 669. That's a fair credit score. And only 18% of Americans have a fair credit score. Now, a very poor credit score is from 300, the lowest you can get, to 575. And 16% of all Americans are very poor in their credit score. And what they say here is 66% have a good FICO score or better. Here's good all the way to better. You don't want to be here. Why improve your FICO score? Well, here we go. Again, 600 to 300, bad. 650 to 600, poor. 700 to 650 is fair. 750 to 700, good. And 850 to 750, this is excellent. This is where you want to be. 700 to 850 is where you want to be. It will lower your insurance if you have a high FICO score. It can help you obtain loans. If you want to buy that nice car, you want to be able to get a loan where you can buy it. They know you will pay back that loan because you have a high FICO score. Higher credit score means you have lower interest rate. You don't have to pay back as much. You're not at big risk. You may be denied credit, mortgage, or rental property if you have low credit scores. How to get your credit report and credit score. Get a free copy of your credit report from www.annualcreditreport.com. You get one of those free a year. Check to see if your bank will provide your score. Credit Karma website. CreditKarma.com provides a free score. How to improve your score? Well, you go to www.myfico.com credit-education-improve-your credit-score. Write that down. Might be very helpful. Free credit scores. Now, I want you to take the financial well-being quiz. Here it is. You can stop the video and you can take this financial well-being quiz. We go to www.consumerfinance.gov /consumer-tools /financial-well-being/. Write that down and get your score and see how you rank with other U.S. households. Just know where that is. Learn to be happy with what you have while you pursue all that you want. E. James Rome. Some helpful apps to help you save money. Ibotta. You can save money on groceries and get cash back from Ibotta. Gas Buddy shows you the best local deals on gas. Ebates or Honey. You can save money when you shop if you have these on your phone. Mint or Tiller are personal finance apps to help you budget. Annual Credit Report. You get one, we talked about this, one free credit report per year. And Credit Karma monitors your credit score. And here's some more internet resources that you can go to. Moneymanagement.org, americasaves.org, Penny Hoarder, Pinterest, and NerdWallet. You might want to write these down. Stop the video and write these down. And here's sources for this video, PowerPoint. Now, if you have any questions, don't worry, send it to us. We are Arkansas Rehabilitation Services, and we are your pre-employment transition counselors. And as I end all of them, fear. Forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. The choice is yours. Thank you again from your Region 4 pre-ed counselors, Kyle Kuiper, Gracie Gilbert. This is Byron Laster, not Peter Brady, thanking you and saying goodbye.